It says, wasn't MLK a race hustler? That's a good question.
Remember that was a but on the one by MLK was allegedly
Was
that
allegedly.
it was allegedly because nobody remember nobody the only one that was around his circle at the time remember was Jesse Jackson. He never spoke about it. Him being a race hustler. Who else was with him? What's his name? Sharp? What's his name again? I forgot his name.
Al Sharpton.
Al Sharpner was also a part of his group. He never spoke about Martin Luther King being a race hustler. Martin Luther King, to be honest,
Yeah,
I think Martin Luther King had a real spiritual soul. Like he really wanted to do good
yeah,
around the but he's human. That's all I keep saying. Like you guys sometimes allow these people to be human. He's human. Did he make some mistakes? Yes. I think was his wife aware of it. I think she was aware of him out there doing whatever he was doing because she understands he's always on the road. And remember back then the culture was kind of different. A lot of women didn't mind a man doing stuff on the road than what the
yeah.
women doing today. See, today a lot of women are bothered if they hear about their man doing something on the road. But back then, the women didn't care because you're like, think about it. He's known. He's hanging with Rosa Parks. He's doing things that are doing great for the community. Especially when at a time when black people were feeling oppressed, telling black people to stand strong, fight, not fight back, but keep the peace. So he was doing really good in the community.
So,
So go
no,
ahead,
you're
King.
right. I like that he asked that question because it's good for us to think. And sometimes I've heard people ask that before. That was a different time and space
Yeah,
where Martin Luther King whole premise was bringing people together. I want y'all to remember this. The Nation of Islam at that time was talking about separation. So, by fundamental ideology, Martin Luther King couldn't have been a race hustler. You know what I mean? If that would have been the case, he would have said not to mingle with whites, not to do business with whites, not to do this. From that standpoint, he's always talked about integration, working together, and improving the relations of that point. So just to touch on that, Lord Spike Protein, and because a lot of people will question that, and don't get me wrong, this is what happens too. All you need is a smidget in your record, then we'll question everything you have done. Compared to somebody who would not turn on the Nation of Islam, he would not he would not backdoor his own community, even though his own community was to find out that it was Muslims who had killed Malcolm X.
allegedly though, allegedly.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Yeah, I was gonna
Because
say this, Hakeem, and it gets so bad, here in the 21st century, 2024. It's like we as here as millennials, Generation Z's, like I said, we like to go back to history to 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, even 100 years ago of one of our greats. If there's a rumor of the smidgen, we will investigate, and we can find a proof. We'll put it out there and we'll try to cancel him because he wasn't what he was speaking of. He
Yeah.
wasn't practicing what he preaching. And I hate what type of road we're going to, especially with this cancel culture. But this is the time we living here today.
yeah, I'm saying they trying to find any type of high powerful man trying to bring them down. I would say this generation is the most wicked, childish, selfish generation I think in ever, and pretty much in a like I think forever because we only focus on our self need and not really focus on others' needs, and I think that's what's hurting us in this generation. But I think people are starting to realize it instead of starting to wake up because they're starting to see like, hey, mind you, they're going after our great leaders who once at one point. That remember they say black men should try to be like a Martin Luther King and a Malcolm X, and they trying to dismiss all these guys' characters. That's not cool, man.
Yeah,
But
that's facts. Because like I said, when I was little, you didn't hear nothing like that. But once you get older and everything, then you start hearing rumors of this and that and that and this, and then you hear more of it and more of it and everything. But my thing is, it's like, I know me, I know you two guys right here. We live by a code, and we stand by a code. But some of these other people who's living in America, they try to do this. If you had once mentioned or something wrong, like I said, the code is broken. And the thing is, it's like a lot of people make mistakes. A lot of people, you know, might do what they do and that might be wrong and everything, no matter how old you are, 20, 30, 30, 40, 50, 60, like I said, people is not like I said, you're not a perfect you're not a perfect human being, you know. There might be times you might make mistakes and everything, but my thing is like, you know, which everybody makes mistakes. You should be forgiven. But my thing is like here in 2024, you know, we'll shame you. That's only one thing we might shame you on. You know, that's probably the one thing we might shame you on if you do something wrong. That's probably the one thing you shame me on. We can't shame on anything other than that. But yeah, man, it's just a crazy time that we living in. That you know, if you did something wrong a couple times, multiple times, and everything, we not think about you know what happened back then because time was different then than it is now and everything. But you know how you know millennials and the younger generation think about that is it's like you know it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter if it happened. Like I said, if it happened 30, 40 years ago, you know it was wrong and everything. And for that case, you should be canceled for it, which I do not like.